children. Children, today we're going to learn how was the life of Socrates, the great philosopher, written by Rhoda Barr. In this lesson, we will learn about the life of Socrates, how the people got a lot of knowledge and how he wanted to uplift the city of Athens. He talked to children, to the people of Athens, and tried to improve their life standards with more new thoughts. This was really affecting the life of the people of Athens, the ruler of Athens, because he was feeling insecure with the life of with the way the Socrates was getting the fame. In this story, it is said that Socrates, who lived in Athens about 400 years before the birth of Jesus Christ, he was an ugly, undersized boy who had a flat nose and bulging eyes. His father was a poor stonecutter, and that is why he was always shabbily dressed. Like all other boys, he was also sent to school, and his important lessons were of music and gymnastics. He also learned some science and mathematics and a little about the stars, but not nearly so much history and geography as children learn today. This strange little creature with a short neck and plain face was a thoughtful child. He watched his companions all the time and allowed very few things to escape his notice. Socrates was not a wealthy man, but not a very rich person, so he hardly had any longing for any wealth or beautiful possessions. As he grew older and older, he began to think a little more from out of his comfort and pleasure zone. As he gave his mind to all that was noble, honorable, and just. He went around the city of Athens and talked to each and every person in the city. Gradually, he earned a lot of fame, and the people always longed for the familiar face to come on the streets. So, this is how gradually Socrates started earning fame, and he was well known by the people of Athens. But this gradually affected the security, sense of security for the ruler of Athens, and he did not like Socrates to earn that much of fame more than him. Among all his people, he had a young man called Plato who treasured every word which his master uttered, and in later years became as famous a teacher as Socrates himself. Although people loved him very much and they longed for him on the streets at a particular time that he will arrive and he will give them beautiful words. He taught that man's own mind influenced his conduct more than the gods. This seemed to some people a new and wicked idea. He said that there were higher and nobler deeds than making sacrifices to Athens and the other gods of Greece, and many people thought that he was leading the young astray, questioning all that they had been taught to live and filling their minds with doubt. The men who were governing Athens summoned Socrates to appear before them and to stand his trial. He was asked by the king of Athens to appear before him and say what he has to say in the to uh, make himself more clear. His friends begged him to escape or to hide until the storm had blown over. But Socrates said that he was not a coward. He showed his bravery by accepting the summon and he went to the king. But everyone knew that a noble heart beat under the shabby garments. He had a powerful and dignified speech. He told the Athenians that they would gain nothing by taking away the last few years of his life, but that he was willing to die many deaths for what he believed to be right. Overall, what Socrates wanted, he believed in truth and he believed in the reality. The judges listened to him, questioned him, and condemned him to death. He leaned on his stick, looking round the crowded courtroom. Plato and his other pupils were there in the court all the time. No evil could have happened to a good man, he told them, either in life or after death. So be of good cheer, I have to go. So he somehow convinced the people of Athens that whatever good or bad has to happen in life, it will not be stopped. So it is hardly anything to worry about. The hour of my departure has arrived, and we go our ways, I to die and you to live. So he said he convinced people that yes, my time is over and now I am all set to die. And finally, you will live with whatever I had in my mind given to you. Then the soldiers came and took him away to prison. His wife followed with his 3 children. Many of his favorite pupils were also with him. For a long time, they talked to him and he taught them many wise lessons which they treasured in their hearts. But all the time, his friends knew that Socrates would die soon. So, this was for sure that the king would surely sentence him to death. For as Plato wrote, he was like a father of whom we were being bereaved, and we were about to pass the rest of our lives as orphans. Then, after the sun had set behind the treetops, the jailer came in and asked him to prepare for death. In Athens, when people were condemned to death, they were given a cup of poison. So Socrates knew this, that the jailer is trying to tell him that his time of death is near and he will have to drink a cup of poison and choose his death. You, Socrates, whom I know to be the noblest and gentlest and best of all, whoever came to this place will not be angry with me when I ask you to drink the poison for others, and not I are the guilty cause. So the jailer very quietly and very efficiently said his words that it is my duty to offer you the cup of poison. So it is not my fault that I have to offer you with such a bad thing. Bursting into tears, he went out and returned with a cup of poison. So the jailer was also very sad in offering him a cup of poison. May the gods prosper by my journey from this to the other world, said Socrates, and lifted the cup to his lips. And finally, Socrates prayed to God and started drinking the cup of poison. His pupils tried to keep back their tears, but one sobbed aloud, and this distressed the others. And soon the room was filled with the sound of weeping. So every people knew that Socrates was not a coward. He took the poison, and they all just considered him so bravely. They accepted what he was doing was something of bravery. So nobody was weeping, but only a single sob filled the atmosphere, and gradually everyone started weeping. Socrates paused with the unfinished cup of poison in his hands. "What's this strange noise?" he asked. "I have heard that a man should die in peace. You mustn't cry. Be silent and have patience." He looked around, remembering something. "Crito," he whispered to one of his pupils, "can you do me a favor? I owe you cock to Asclepius. Will you pay the debt?" So he asked Crito that he had taken something from someone, and he wanted Crito to pay him back. "It shall be paid," said Crito. "Is there anything else?" He waited, but there was no answer, for Socrates, the greatest of all the Greeks, was dead. Finally, Crito accepted that yes, he will pay his debt, and if there's anything else to be done, he could have ordered. But there was silence all around, as the great philosopher, the greatest of all the Greeks, was dead. So, this is how the story of Socrates was, and I hope you have learned some lesson from this story. Have a nice day and happy learning.